Okay.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Mr. DeCarlo?
Here.
Mr. Hoffman?
Here.
Mr. Condit?
Here.
Mr. Malina?
Here.
Mr. Silverston?
Here.
Mr. Wiggins?
Here. Approval of minutes from September 13th. We do not have minutes. Amendments to the agenda.
Yes, Mr. President, I have three pieces of legislation. Resolution number 146, 2016, a resolution to hire Timothy N. McGuire as a part-time police officer with the Village of Reminderville.
Second. Roll call.
Mr. Hoffman?
Yes.
Mr. Condit?
Yes.
Mr. Malina?
Yes.
Mr. Silverston?
Yes.
Mr. Wiggins?
Yes.
Mr. DeCarlo?
Yes. Resolution number 147, 2016, a resolution to hire Ryan C. Roth as a part-time police officer with the Village of Reminderville.
Second. Roll call.
Mr. Condit?
Yes.
Mr. Malina?
Yes.
Mr. Silverston?
Yes.
Mr. Wiggins?
Yes.
Mr. DeCarlo?
Yes.
Mr. Hoffman?
Yes.
And resolution number 148, 2016, a resolution to hire Stacy O'Keefe as an independent contractor for the Reminderville Athletic Club and declaring an emergency.
Second. Roll call.
Mr. Malina?
Yes.
Mr. Silverston?
Yes.
Mr. Wiggins?
Yes.
Mr. DeCarlo?
Yes.
Mr. Hoffman?
Yes.
Mr. Condit?
And I'd also like to add an executive session during the committee of the whole meeting after legislation is read to discuss police department personnel
Could you add one more thing on their threatened litigation?
and threatened litigation.
Second.
And on the first one, that is for council members only. Roll call?
Mr. Silverston?
Yes.
Mr. Wiggins?
Yes.
Mr. DeCarlo?
Yes.
Mr. Hoffman?
Yes.
Mr. Condit?
Yes.
Mr. Malina?
Yes. Going to reports, I have no report for the mayor. Mr. Carpenter?
I will defer until the executive session for my portion, kind of in conjunction with Adam's report. So for the first part, at least for the executive session, I ask that Adam comes in and
Okay,
explains what it's all about.
thank you. Engineering, Pete?
The restoration of the area around the Nautilus Trail Culvert project was completed last week. We will be out to make sure that there's nothing that needs to be followed up on before we close out the project. We got a trail, that manhole that was sticking up has been a lingering issue. We talked to Marty over at Trimore. He said that he's gonna have that done by early October. California Street, I'm talking with some residents over on Nautilus about a potential outlet area for the storm sewer for the California Street project. That's really what has been the holdup with getting Aurora to sign off on the plans. So if we can get the residents over there to agree to an easement between their two properties, we'll be able to put the outlet through there, and that will satisfy what Aurora is apprehensive about. So
And we're gonna end up going under the road of the bubble and under the main stretch of Nautilus into the lake.
yes,
So all that water that used to flow through around the lake is gonna go directly in, which is gonna alleviate a lot of flooding up in that part of the village.
correct. And at the last meeting, I mentioned that we were looking at potential funding for some Cleveland Water work. The response from Cleveland Water was that none of the streets that we sent in are eligible for replacement at this time.
What was the reason? Because we haven't had
Not a
problems on it?
significant- Yeah, there's not a significant number of breaks on those streets in particular, so they don't qualify for funding. And the streets that were in question were Anchorage, Ensign, Skippers, Smugglers, and both Surfsides. And then Glenwood Greens, they have one house left to sell, and that's it.
Awesome, thank you, Dave.
You're welcome.
For Mr. Scafidi, we had talked about this in finance, talking about shared services between us and the city of Twinsburg, the township, and the village of Glen Willow. He put together a list of some of the things that have saved us money. With the city of Twinsburg, use of 2 electricians at no cost to assist in solving outdoor wiring issues around this building. Street sweeping 2 times per year at a much reduced rate opposed to private contractor rates. Loan of tables and chairs with no rental fees. The use of the city bucket truck when needed at no cost. And this is a truck that Twinsburg does not use anymore because they purchased a new one. And he also shares that with Glen Willow. And Glen Willow, last time they had it, did the preventative maintenance. They did an oil change and worked on the brakes on the truck. Emergency and scheduled sewer cleaning at a reduced rate as opposed to private contractors, like the issues we had with the fire department when that grate gets too full inside. He's kind of on a schedule now where Chris will check on that, and when it needs done, he can call Twinsburg, and within 24 hours they're out with the truck to take care of that for us. We receive free CDL training for our service department employees from the city of Twinsburg. We're going to be sharing the striping on the roundabout. 1 year we'll pay for it. On the opposite years, Twinsburg will pay for it. He's also going to talk to the mayor about maybe owning up some money for the landscaping of our roundabout. So there's no guarantee on that. Twinsburg also completed some pavement repair on Nautilus on the first bubble in front of a resident's driveway. The lowest bid Sam had gotten was $3,500. We ended up saving $2,000 off that price, and Twinsburg took care of the repairs for us. And that's it. I just wanted to get that out there, because I know people have asked on finance, and even on this board, when we donate to a lot of different things in the city of Twinsburg, and what do we get in return, and this is a big return on our investment, I feel it is. Okay. The rack, Adam.
Fitness area is now open. People are using it, exercising it right now. Our 24/7 lock is up and running. So people are exercising overnight as well. Our final inspection for the pool and splash pad is this Friday morning. The needed changes that were supposed to be made to the fencing and to the pumps were made, so that should pass no problem this Friday. We've had a number of staff drop out due to family reasons and schedule conflicts, and that's why you see a lot of new hires tonight. And I've also re-advertised those positions as front desk attendant and building monitors too, so hopefully we can get a good solid group back and not be running as thin as we are right now. We have our big open house on October 1st. Prizes, giveaways, and more. We'll be able to showcase the entire facility, hopefully gain some more memberships as well. The Friday before September 30th is a special Reminderville only preview day from 5 to 7 as well, where they can come in and get a private tour just for those Reminderville residents. Silver Sneakers, we have Silver Sneakers. We're finalizing our paperwork. Silver Sneakers is finalizing their paperwork. We're getting trained on that to make sure that we know who is a Silver Sneakers participant, and we can start offering those. We currently have 40 Silver Sneakers members on our wait list that we're going to send out an email reminder as soon as we're official, which should be next week. Fitness classes also start next week, which is exciting. Our staff has recently CPR trained as well. Our phone systems are up and running. The gymnasium, that you put the final coat on the wood floor. It's got a settle, but we can use it on Monday, and start using it on Monday. We have just under 400 memberships right now. 244 are coming from Reminderville, 90 are coming from Aurora. Twinsburg is giving us 41 memberships. Streetsboro is giving us 4, Macedonia 1, Kent 1, Solon 2, Hiram 1, and Salem also came in. Which is good. With all our programs, all our memberships, our latchkey, year to date, we've brought in revenues of $62,386 and 58 cents. So that's where we're at right now. That's my report.
Thank you, As. Go ahead.
Not now, but I can do it.
So is the official complete opening gonna be Monday, assuming we pass everything on Friday?
Yeah, I mean,
What are you gonna tell people, I guess, on Saturday and Friday?
flooring for the gym on Monday. It's been said that we could probably walk on it, but I feel more comfortable with just starting the gym on Monday, actually playing and using it for what its purpose is. The pool, I would say, we could push it to Sunday, but more realistically, Monday. We do have some lifeguard training and orientation this weekend. Want to make sure that we get those people on board, in place, trained and oriented before we have them lifeguard. So I think Monday is very realistic at latest.
Thank you, Ed. Deborah.
Give this to you. Council should have on box ordinances 20 and 21. Ordinance 20 is appropriations that I would ask if council could pass it by emergency tonight. One of the items is for the donation, which you probably will discuss because that's another resolution for the clam bake. And the rest of it is for health insurance premiums, which are estimated to increase at the highest rate of 14%. So what's being requested is what it would take for us to pay out the rest of the year at a 14% increase. Also, it's adding a service department employee who we've not had on health insurance prior, anyone from the service department, so that's an additional line item for health insurance and dental insurance. Ordinance 21 does not need to be passed by emergency, so if council wants to discuss that when it comes up, I'd be happy to answer questions about it. But I wanted to give council some time to review it, and also Mr. Carpenter to review the way that I wrote it, because I wrote it rather quickly. I want to make sure it's the correct form before it's passed.
It's fine, it should have a second page.
Yeah, there's a signature page, yeah. Wanted to add on to what Adam was saying, this 62,000 in revenue is 31% of what we guesstimated would be the revenue for this year. So I think that's a pretty good number considering only part of it's been open for a couple days. Haven't had the big grand opening yet. So, the revenues are starting to come in, which is nice to see. Keeps me very busy, but it's a good busy. Unless anyone has any questions, that's it.
Thank you, Deborah. Chief Buck?
The Halloween party has been turned over to Adam and his crew. I've met with them a couple of times. They seem to be squared away. We had a little hitch with regard to the construction at the police department versus having it there. I've talked with the mayor and they've decided to move everything down there to the rec center. So I've talked with them about that. That's taken care of and we are charging forward on that. The construction of the police department is underway. All the site work is done, the footers are in, and by tomorrow or the next day, depending on the weather, they will start building up walls, so it's going to go up rather quickly. I came tonight to talk to you about
the first pay app is in for that, and it is more than what council is committed to pay, and I was gonna suggest that we take that off of the first pay, so that they're paid, the village's contributions paid, and then the rest of the draws will be just written with a check and given to them. That has, I think, changed tonight, and I'm gonna let Deborah explain it. She talked to me real quick before the meeting, and I don't really, I know I talked with some of you about that, so I wanna let you know why, if that's changing, why it's changing.
Yeah, and it was just something that transpired today. Chief and I had spoken, and then I spoke with the mayor about it, and we seem to be on the same page. However, I'm sure that council knows that we're seeking funding for lots of different reasons, and I've never really gotten into explanation as to what all of it's for. But we want to be able to include that $150,000 that council has said that they would give to that portion of renovating the police department. And so the way that I understand the funding to work is we cannot reimburse ourselves for something that was already paid out. It would be a taxed borrowing if it's paying back. So a better way to do it would be to borrow the money and then pay for it. So that's where the difference came in, and the mayor and I just had that discussion this afternoon. So Chief and I didn't have a chance to review that.
Can I ask a question? So part of the money that you're using to pay for the $150,000 or whatever that number
Yeah.
is going to be borrowed?
Correct. Correct.
Do you know what the time?
What-
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Do you know what the timeline is on the loan?
The goal is in within the next month to 6 weeks.
All right, so that you know, they'll be done with the project right around Christmas time. In this fiscal year, they'll be done with it.
Right.
And what we were trying to prevent earlier when we talked was putting the draw in for the last payment of $150,000 and having to factor in the retainage. The pay apps have retainage in them and different things.
Right.
Trying to factor that in, whereas if we got it out in one lump sum, it would be clean and get out of there. Wouldn't be carried over from 2016 to 2017, and so on and so forth.
But if you make the first payout, writing a check, like you said, and then once the loan is secured, then on the, whatever payout falls next.
I want to ask you a question. Are we guaranteed that the loan is coming in? Or, because it sounded like we applied for a loan.
That's been my concern.
There's no reason to believe that we won't be able to give the loan. The finance people have no concerns.
In the event that it doesn't come in or it goes past the first of the year, do we have a contingency plan?
We approved that money, if that's the right word.
Right, I think
Not-
approved is the question. It was council.
We pledged it, yeah, whatever
Yes,
word.
Yes, but it has not been appropriated, which is the issue.
Correct, that's correct. But that was not considering the loan to do that, so, yeah, you're fine.
Good news. The rest I'll defer to the executive session. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Assistant Chief Johns.
No report unless there's any questions.
Architectural Board of Review.
The Architectural Board of Review met last night. We approved an addition in Groveland's Cove. We approved 2 fences, a shed, as well as a front step addition. So our next meeting is Monday, the 24th of October at 7 o'clock up here at Village Hall.
Thank you, Mark. Planning and
Oh,
Zone.
I'm sorry, just one other comment. We actually had 5 no-shows last night, so, 2 of which were for KO Banian, which I guess they're trying to get well out of putting some decks on some of their homes, but, I don't know if you got any calls from some upset people yet, but.
I've spoken with them, and
I mean, I know you're telling them beforehand, but I guess I'm just
the
saying.
no-shows are all our regular contractors, so they didn't put up much of a fight when I said, hey, you didn't show.
Sure.
So,
It's just a large amount. Usually when people know they have to wait another month, aren't typically too happy about it. So. I know you're doing what you're doing, I just want to make my.
Planning and zoning, there's 3 items on the agenda tonight. 2 of them from our last meeting and one is at third reading, which we'll discuss once we get into the legislation. Board of Zoning Appeals, no appeals. Finance,
Finance met today at 6 o'clock. We reconciled August's bank rec. We also recommended payments in the amount of $81,131.33. We changed our October schedule a little bit. We're gonna move the budget to October 25th at 5 o'clock. And October 11th, we'll just do a regular start at 6 o'clock. We'll do September's bank recs and then do the check registers. So no change, we're moving it 2 weeks back. That's it.
thank you, Tom. Cable, no report. Communications,
No report.
long-term community development, no report. Parks and Rec,
Parks and Rec met last Wednesday. Basically, we discussed our changing wall, and we plan to work together with Colleen to make a smooth transition and do whatever we can to help. We're going to meet on an as-need basis and pretty much communicate by email and continue to provide the volunteer help that we've always provided to make sure that nobody notices a change in any of the events. And basically, like I said, provide a smooth transition over to Colleen.
thank you. Records,
Real quick, would it be safe to take them off the agenda?
Yeah, we did meet in between the 2 meetings also.
Yeah, I'll take it out, then if you have anything to add, you can always add anything.
And if Colleen has anything she wants mentioned and can't be up here, I can report it for her, or you can report it for her. Sure.
records,
No report.
and Jeff.
No report.
Okay, ordinance 2016, an emergency ordinance to make appropriation adjustments for the 2016 village budget, first reading. Ordinance 21-2016, an emergency ordinance to make transfers to offset the 2014-2015 audit fund balance adjustments, first reading. Resolution 114-2016, a resolution to accept the recommendation of the Planning and Zoning Commission to approve the final plan for Phase 9 of the Heritage Place subdivision, third reading. I would like to table this legislation tonight. There's been some issues with work getting done on previous phases in Harrington. And on the current phase, there's an issue with a resident on East Avenue where the curb was put in. He can't get into his driveway. We've been told the curb cut's gonna be done and an apron's gonna be poured. That still has not been done. And Terry, can you update everyone on the other issues that they haven't completed, going back to phase 1?
We sent a punch list to John Evanson, requesting that some potholes and cracks be sealed, on the portion of Harrington that extends from Glenwood to Firethorn. His response was that was phase 1 and it is out of maintenance bond, so no longer his responsibility. The Harrington cul-de-sac, which is part of phase 6, we asked that he adjust the storm sewer riser and use some sealer around the ring. He did say that he would take care of that, but it's been 2 months since we made the request. Gutter seal all streets, with the exception of Holly and Colmanara, and so that would be all phases, but again, he said that phases 1 through 3 are out of maintenance bond and he's not responsible for them. He did agree to finish installing the sidewalks that were not poured previously. This would be a portion of sidewalk between phases 1 and 6, very close to Tom's house, south of the fire corner intersection there, on both sides of the street. And then there's a transition piece that was never poured on the southeast side of phase 1. The sidewalk just ends. So we asked him to put the transition piece in there. He said he would do that as well. And we've also asked for basic pond maintenance in all the phases. He will make the argument that some of those have been turned over to the HOA, and I've asked him for an updated list on which ones have been turned over at this point, and I haven't received a response. As far as the timeline on the crack seal and the sidewalk installation, he said that he would have them poured by November 1st.
Okay, going back to the gutter seal.
Yes.
He's not doing part of that. Was that something that should have been done initially and we missed it?
I would have to talk to Gene on that, I'm not sure.
Okay.
How long's the street been in? 3 or 4 years?
The first 3 phases, yes, they predate me being here, which was 2012, so those were poured.
And have we gotten a response on that retention pond that's behind Rod's house?
That is,
As far as
that's what I'm asking to look into, and he has not given me an update on that.
Okay. All right. And until these things are done, I would like to see resolution 114 tabled. Again, it's, if I don't get a second, so I won't be making the motion, but I would like to see it tabled, but that's up to the group. Okay, resolution 133, 2016, a resolution to accept the recommendation of the Planning and Zoning Commission to approve the final subdivision plat and plan revised for the Liberty Ledges subdivision phase 4 first reading, and that we need to go by emergency.
Yes, please.
Resolution 134, 2016, a resolution to accept the recommendation of the Planning and Zoning Commission to approve the lot split application of Reminder Liberty 2 LLC for parcel number 6601654, first reading, and that too needs to go by emergency. Resolution 135, 2016, a resolution to authorize and direct the mayor to execute and enter into an agreement with the Summit County Public Defenders Commission for the representation of eligible indigent persons, first reading. Resolution 136, 2016, a resolution authorizing a $1,000 donation to the Twinsburg Area Chamber of Commerce, first reading. Stacy, when does that have to be passed by?
Isn't that beginning of October?
Yeah, that has to go by emergency.
Resolution 137, 2016, a resolution to hire Samantha Rosinski as latchkey program aide substitute and front desk assistant for the Reminderville Athletic Club, and to be paid at the rate of $9.75 per hour, and declaring an emergency, first reading. Resolution 138, 2016, a resolution to hire Deborah Fadley as front desk assistant for the Reminderville Athletic Club, to be paid at the rate of $9.75 per hour, and declaring an emergency, first reading. Resolution 139, 2016, a resolution to hire Lois Reichen as building monitor for the Reminderville Athletic Club, and to be paid at the rate of $9.75 per hour, and declaring an emergency, first reading. Resolution 140, 2016, a resolution to hire Kristen Lowe as building monitor for the Reminderville Athletic Club, to be paid at the rate of $9.75 per hour, and declaring an emergency, first reading.
Mark,
Yes.
what exactly is a building monitor? What is the job? Just out of curiosity.
Yeah, our two popular positions are front desk attendants and building monitors. Building monitors really monitor the entire building. They know what programs are going on, what's happening in the evening time especially, helping close out, helping answering questions about how to use a piece of equipment or what a piece of equipment does. Not that they're giving personal training advice, but can show people how to turn on these complex machines.
Okay.
there.
So there'll be somebody there 24 hours in the fitness area? Or
Not-
how are you planning on it?
Not 24 hours. Our heaviest times are really between 4 and 8:30. Like at least 4 staff members there at all times during that part. 2 front desk staff people and then 2 building monitors. Most likely 1 monitoring the fitness area, the other monitoring the gymnasium track area. Just to make sure that rules are being enforced, policies are being followed, and providing that customer service, guest service that we want to provide.
Thank you. Resolution 141, 2016, a resolution to hire William Stever as building monitor for the Reminderville Athletic Club to be paid at the rate of $9.75 per hour and declaring an emergency, first reading. Resolution 142, 2016, a resolution to hire Curtis Stokes as lifeguard for the Reminderville Athletic Club to be paid at the rate of $10 per hour and declaring an emergency, first reading. Resolution 143, 2016, a resolution to hire Anthony Corona as an independent contractor for the Reminderville Athletic Club and declaring an emergency, first reading. Want to tell everybody what that's about?
Yeah, Anthony or AJ will be instructing our dodgeball class coming up. We have 6 kids signed up for that. I'd like to bump that number up to 10 by next week. He'll be instructing that every Thursday evening.
Thank you, Adam. Resolution 144, 2016, a resolution to hire Drew Russell as lifeguard for the Reminderville Athletic Club to be paid at the rate of $8.50 per hour and declaring an emergency, first reading. Resolution 145, 2016, a resolution to accept the amounts and rates as determined by the Summit County Budget Commission and authorizing the necessary tax levies and certifying them to the fiscal officer, first reading. Resolution 146, 2016, a resolution to hire Timothy N. McGuire as a part-time police officer with the Village of Reminderville. Resolution 147, 2016, a resolution to hire Ryan C. Roth as a part-time police officer with the Village of Reminderville.
Chief, do those need to go by emergency or?
Yes. Resolution 148, 2016, a resolution to hire Stacy O'Keefe as an independent contractor for the Reminderville Athletic Club and declaring an emergency.
I'd like to adjourn to executive session to
Before we do, could I make a comment about the legislation that you? Okay, Tom?
Yeah.
Didn't mean to interrupt. I noticed that there's a lot of hiring here for the RAC, and it's 137 through 144 and 148. And I'm wondering about the possibility of combining those pieces of legislation, and doing it all in one action.
It'd be better if they were all put into one piece of legislation together to do that. I mean, it's really the way to do it, but that was, we talked beforehand, that was a rule that was tossed out. It's up to council's pleasure on that. The reason why they're done separately, as I explained before, is someone may have a problem with one of the people. So we further discussed, find out if someone has a problem first, with any of them, and if there's a problem, do it that way. But if you were doing this for economy of time, you could certainly do it. That would be within the powers of council.
But you're suggesting maybe we should look at that as a future possibility by making the legislation all in one.
It would be the best way.
Okay, and that answers my question, and in the future, I would like to suggest we do that.
And then Adam can get the information to all of us prior to that meeting so that if there is an issue, it can be addressed prior to legislation being written. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, now I'd like to make a motion to convene to executive session to discuss police department personnel and possible legislation, litigation.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Molina,
Yes.
Mr. Silverston?
Yes.
Mr. Wiggins?
Yes.
Mr. Ricardo?
Yes.
Mr. Hoffman?
Yes.
Mr. Hodges?
Yes.
Yes. So, I get 4 on Thursday, and I got 2 more on Friday, and 1 more on Saturday.
Convene from executive session at 8:21.
Second?
Roll call.
Mr. Silverston?
Yes.
Mr. Wiggins?
Yes.
Mr. DeCarlo?
Yes.
Mr. Hoffman?
Yes.
Mr. Connick?
Yes.
Mr. Molina.
Yes. Old business? Any old business? New business?
I would like to submit a report. I went to a meeting last week, and it was a meeting with the Twinsburg Library, the schools, the city of Twinsburg, the township, and Chamber of Commerce, and ourselves. And we meet every 3 months to just let everyone know what's going on in their individual communities. So I'd like to highlight that meeting on some things that I think are important. First of all, Twinsburg, the roundabout that they're putting in, it is going to be opening up probably first week in October. However, there will be one day, and they will announce, they do not know when it is yet, but they're going to be closed in all 4 directions. So not only will you not be able to get through Glenwood, if you're coming down 91, they're going to be forcing people to take detours, which I think are going to go out through Meadowwood, and I don't know how they're going to do it. They're smarter than we are, or I am anyway. But there's going to be a one-day period there where hopefully everyone gets plenty of notice, because it might affect fire departments and police security and all of those good things. So be aware of it and keep your eye open for it. Schools announced that they are having a special meeting, and it's on the 17th of October. And this is a meeting that is going to be discussing heroin and the addiction that's going on, not just in our little village or in Twinsburg, but all around. It's a national issue. And they only want adults there because they really want to get the community involved. It's being sponsored by the police departments. In fact, Chief Buck is one of the people on the, I believe, that's on the round table that will be discussing it, along with the Chief of Police from Twinsburg. FBI will be there, Drug Enforcement Agency will be there, and this is all taking place in the auditorium at our high school. And I'd like to recommend you go, because I'm just hearing from my contacts with the schools and everything, what's going on is frightening. Kids were getting hooked. Once you're in, you got a real problem trying to get them out. I mean, they're really hooked, and they're hooked quickly. And it's become the drug of choice because it's so inexpensive. And I think everyone that we can in our community become involved in this and have their eyes open and keeping an eye on things, it will only be beneficial. So if you can possibly make it on the 17th, that's at 7 o'clock. And the name of the program is Chasing the Dragon. And again, it's sponsored by FBI, Drug Enforcement Agency, and I think the police departments from Twinsburg and here, the village.
The Office of Criminal Justice also.
Department of Justice.
The Department of Criminal Justice,
Okay, very good. Luminosity has been scheduled, and I think you know this already, Stacy, right? It's the 26th of November. That's the program we were in last year.
Yeah, I don't know the date, I haven't been at the last couple of meetings.
Okay, they announced that it would be the 26th, which is the Saturday after Thanksgiving. And so that will be there. Also, I know that we have on the agenda today that we're going to help sponsor the Chamber of Commerce's annual clam bake. That is scheduled for the 6th of October. It's $25 for the clam bake, which includes the normal things, the clams, the chicken, and potato salad, the corn, and so forth. $15 if you don't want the clams. If you contact the Chamber, if you want to buy tickets, that is also available. And I think that's pretty much the highlight of what we discussed.
Thank you. Any other new business?
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
Roll call on adjournment?
Mr. Wiggins?
Yes.
Mr. DeCarlo?
Yes.
Mr. Hoffman?
Yes.
Mr. Connick?
Yes.
Mr. Molina.
Yes.
Mr. Zimmerstein?
Yes.